Hey everybody, Tony Coleman-Brown here, and on today's video I'm going to talk to you about how not to get your accounts banned or get into Facebook jail. Now there's a simple way for you to do that, and it's simply by following Facebook's community guidelines. Now I'm going to show you exactly where they are, and I'm going to encourage you to go through each one of the guidelines so that you don't get your Facebook ad accounts banned or you don't get your personal accounts banned. You just simply have to follow their rules. But if you don't follow their rules, you can also place an appeal. And I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do that in another video. But today's video is all about following the community guidelines as Facebook have them outlined. So we're going to get right into it, and stay tuned, and we're going to go through the community rules. Okay, so right now we are here at the Meta, better known as Facebook. We're at the Transparency Center, where you can actually review the Facebook community standards and you can understand what is and what isn't allowed on Facebook. All right. So what you want to do when you get here, you can read all of the things as is related to their goals and what they want the commitment of their members to be and all of that stuff. So they want, they value authenticity. They value safety, privacy, dignity, and all of that stuff. But you want to scroll down to actually understand what the community standards are. So one of the things that Facebook doesn't condone is violence and criminal behavior. So violence and the incitement of violence. So you can click on each of these hyperlinks and you can understand what their certain policy is. So this will tell you what the current policy is right now. So when it comes down to violence, you can't make threats that could lead to death. You can't make statements that where you appear to be ready to commit a high, severe violence. You can't have cause for violence. You can't make statements advocating violence. So I know a friend of mine posted something. Oh, somebody said that, their husband did something and this person said, oh, I could kill him or something like that. And then they went into Facebook jail. So you can't make any statements like that. So what you want to do is you want to scroll through and read this whole entire thing, so you can really understand what they mean. So even if you're joking about violence, it's just not a good thing to do that. Dangerous individuals and organizations. So there's certain organizations that are like really dangerous, and, organizations that, promote terrorist attacks, hate events, things like that. So you want to avoid those types of organizations. And you want to make sure that you're not really supporting any of those types of organizations, right? So if you speak positively about an organization that they designate as an entity that's a threat, for example, here they say the fighters for the Islamic State are really brave, things like that. Timothy McVeigh is a martyr. Hitler did nothing wrong. You stand with Britain Tarrant. So all of those types of things you cannot say on Facebook. So you want to be mindful of that. Coordinating harm. So promoting a crime. So if you're like, okay, tomorrow at 5 o'clock, we're going to jump Brittany in, on East 54th Street or something like that. You don't want to do that. Restricted goods and services. Now, I think that a lot of people want to pay attention to this because, when you talk about firearms, purchasing drugs, pharmaceuticals, weed, talking about doing things to species, endangered species, selling body parts, human blood, alcohol and tobacco. Now, here's something right here that you want to be careful about: weight loss products. Because I know a lot of people that are in a weight loss industry, and one of the things you do is you make claims about your weight loss products. So be careful about that, because that could definitely get you into Facebook jail. So you want to be careful about, your audience, the age of your audience, and things like that. So you want to make sure you come to this section and you read the whole entire thing, right? Safety, suicide, and self-injury. You don't want to promote committing suicide on Facebook, all right, or injuring yourself. So eating disorders, anything like that, you want to make sure that you are not posting that stuff on Facebook. Child sexual exploitation, abuse and nudity, adult sexual exploitation, bullying and harassment, human exploitation, privacy violations. So you want to be careful about that. Hate speech, you don't want to do that on Facebook, and you want to be careful and just really read through the policy and show and get a good idea of what they really don't want you to be talking about, like victims of hate crime, like talking about what happened in Connecticut with the kids are not real, or you don't want to make demoralizing or dehumanizing statements like talking about black people and calling them animals and this and that. You don't want to make caricatures of black people or things like that. You just don't want to do racist things like that. You don't want to do that. So you want to stay away from all of that: violent and graphic content, adult nudity, sexual activity, sexual solicitation. You definitely want to stay away from that. And account integrity and authentic identity. Now, here's where a lot of people get in trouble. A lot of times on your accounts, you're not using your real name, your first, your last name. You want to make sure, a lot of times you're using your nickname and things like that. Or sometimes you may use the picture of a celebrity as your profile picture. You don't want to do that. You don't want to create accounts for celebrities or things like that. You want to make sure that you are being your true authentic self, because a lot of times when Facebook asks you to authenticate, right, they'll say send your driver's license or your passport, and if it doesn't match, then sometimes they'll close your account. So spam, you want to be careful about spamming and sending a whole bunch of emails or posts or things like that. You don't want to do that. So you want to make sure you're not putting misleading content or anything like that. And just, if you're using a landing page, sometimes we'll have a link to a landing page and the functionality doesn't work. So you want to be careful about doing things like that. Make sure if you're posting content to go to a landing page or a website, make sure that the website is live, that the website is not down or anything like that. You want to make sure that you are being secure. You don't want to put out any inauthentic behavior, any misinformation, any memorialization, things like that. And also you want to respect other people's intellectual property. And you don't want to have a situation where people are saying, oh, this person is using my stuff, and they want to, put you in Facebook jail for that. And also, you have to be careful about minors. They want to protect minors, and they want to protect their users. So what I would encourage you to do, if your account has gotten banned or you've been put in Facebook jail and you really don't understand why, you want to come to this page that really is Facebook's transparency page that has all of the community standards, and you want to read it. And one of the things that I encourage you to do is before you jump off into creating your Facebook ad or anything like that, you want to make sure you come and you read the community standards, and also you want to read the ad standards. So you want to make sure that you're following everything to the letter so that you don't end up in Facebook jail, you don't end up getting your ad account banned or getting your account banned. So if you want to play around with a fake account, but your personal account that has your real first and last name, you want to make sure to keep that clean. So like I said, play around with your fake accounts, but keep your personal accounts clean so that you don't have to run into any of these problems or anything like that. So one of the things that I like to tell people to do is to create multiple accounts, and especially if you want to run ads, and run ads on the account that you really, if you want to test different things out and you really don't care if that account gets shut down, you want to do that. But you want to make sure that you keep your personal one that has your real first and last name. You want to keep it clean so you can keep using it over and over and over again. So that's it for this video. I hope that it helped. And really and truly, you want to set yourself up for success right from the start. And the way to do that is by going through all of Facebook's community standards, community guidelines, what's allowed, what's not allowed. Do the same thing for ads, and we'll go through all of that stuff on a different video. But I want to thank you guys for being here, and I hope that you find this information to be good for you and good for everything that you do on Facebook, because it is a good platform. It's a great place for you to build your business, to actually generate leads. I've built a Facebook fan community of over 100,000 followers and growing, and it's primarily with female entrepreneurs, but it's been working out really well for me. And if it worked out well for me, then I know that it could work out well for you. Just believe in yourself, stay strong, don't get discouraged, and just keep going. All right, take care, make sure to subscribe, and I will see you on the next video.